£3 greater.
What it do? This your host Big Worm on City Speak Podcast. Yo, what it do? This your host Big Worm on City Speaks Podcast. And right now I'm sitting with some real entrepreneurs, the Ever Sisters. How y'all doing?
We doing well. Good.
So I'm gonna start from the oldest. Y'all could just introduce yourself.
I'm Evernesia. I'm the big sister.
My name is Everquesia, and I'm the second sister, and they be loving Queen.
I'm Everlesia, and I'm the sister that like to talk a lot, a.k.a. the coolest.
Gotcha.
I'm Everkesia. I'm the poet.
Oh, the
You
family.
can call me
That's
QC
hard.
if you like.
That's hard. So y'all kind of close in age, no? Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
How
Majority
is
of
it?
three.
How is it growing up? Cause I got everybody, my sisters, like they younger than me, so I'm like I get on their nerves. They like hate when I come in the house.
Right.
Come get on their nerves. So how is it, y'all kind of like a big family?
Yeah.
Sometimes we disagree to agree.
Well said, Queasy.
Well, I got you. So
You know, a lot of fighting in the household growing up.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
so how did that cross over though? So y'all started a business together, right?
Yeah.
Right.
How did, like, what was the thought of that? How did y'all get into that?
I think just our mom always taught us to stick together. And we grew up watching, like, Ron's house, seeing Angela them create pastries. And I feel like I was inspired by that.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Right.
What did the inspiration come to start to have business?
Well, we come from a family of entrepreneurs. Like, our auntie, she owns a restaurant. Our other auntie, she owns beauty supply shop. Our mother owns a beauty salon. And then we have
Cousins and aunties.
cousins, aunties. Literally everybody owns a business.
Is that like talk? Is that like talk? Was that talk bringing up like
Yeah.
be a boss?
I think you're not, showing. I think it's
Yeah.
more like what you see. It's like we didn't even know what it was to really have a 9 to 5 and to like getting older and getting jobs because our mama always had a salon from our recollection.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So how did y'all start? Make sure I say this right. Hair is forever, right? With a 5 at the end.
Actually, Eddie, she came with the idea, and she
When she was
pitched it to
living,
us,
yeah.
and
But-
then we.
Believe it or not, even though she's not the oldest, she's kind of like the leader of the pack.
Yeah.
I ain't even
Yeah.
gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Most definitely,
Yeah.
most definitely.
Yeah.
Kudos
She
Yeah.
to
got all the
her.
ideas over here.
She got
Yeah.
the ideas, and
So
if she
how
tell
did
us,
you
we go
think
with it.
of it?
And Eddie is my nickname. So what happened is I was working at Macy's and I was like thinking ideas that honestly just could get me rich. And
Yeah.
my favorite mentor, well, one of my favorite mentors, Earl Nightingale, he said one idea can make you rich and a lot of good ideas can move you steady up. So I just used to think of ideas all day long. So the conception of it, I started of seeing my cousins use a toothbrush in California because I was in California. And I was like, dang, they don't really have a brush for that. And then it was like bringing it to my aunties and then my sisters and some of my friends and asking them, okay, I know there's not a brush out here, but how can we make it better? I just don't want to put out a regular brush that looks like a toothbrush. How can we make it better?
Yeah.
And it was all the collective minds bringing the logo, the ideas, the making it better. Like taking the idea that I started with and making it better.
So before brushes, they just use toothbrushes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's just the late eye you.
Yeah.
Your
Right,
baby
right.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we took it to a new level. We added a spatula so you could dip it. You know you got long nails. You got your what they call them, the snatchers. Got the snatchers. You don't want to get it under your nails. You just dip it, put it on your edges, and then swipe, boom, boom. And then we got the best edge control that really hold it down. Because you know if you got 4C hair, natural hair, it's hard to find something that's gonna hold you down in this photo. Whether like our edge control do.
Was that the target audience? Natural hair women.
No, for everybody.
No, not at first. But what problem we discovered is a lot of natural women didn't have something that can keep their hair held long enough. So that's why we're kind of geared towards more of natural women now because they didn't have a product that really held it down.
Gotcha. So how was the design of this? How was like?
Oh, wow.
'Cause I'm pretty sure you can't just go grab a stick and throw some bristles on there. How was it coming up with the design of it?
Well, everybody agreed that we needed something to scoop, but what I did is I went on Paint and not Microsoft, but on Apple, and I just found the shapes, so you can see kind of like the shapes, all the shapes that you can find on a computer. You can kind of see it like this is one shape, and then I found the shape right here.
So this wasn't outsourced. You came up with this on your.
Yeah, like all the shape was connected together, and we had to get CAD drawings. If you don't really know about designing, it's like you had to get the 3D version of it. We had to get samples, and we paid. All of us put our money together, using credit, to get a sample that cost $300 from China. We lost the sample. It was just a whole mess, but we literally did it step by step from scratch.
So how long it been since the idea of starting to your first product?
Since what, 2016?
Yes.
Yeah, 2016. Yeah,
and then we launched it in 2017.
5 years.
Yeah.
Congrats, 5 years of business.
Yeah.
Right.
Congrats.
Yeah, and we knew the longevity would be to make it different. Like that's how we knew we would be able to sustain for a long time. Is creating a venture, and then we all collectively own the patent to it.
Yeah.
So I got a question, right? So, I watch a lot of movies, and it always be like a group of sisters. Boom, boom, the one find a boyfriend, this one get married. Like, what do y'all have in place for y'all to be like, this is ours. This ain't never let nobody get in between what we started. What's in place for that?
I think it's just like one of the maybe just us really listening to Jay-Z. We're really big on legacy.
Yeah.
Not even just Jay-Z, but our family. Like for example, my was it last year? Our granddaddy passed away.
Yeah.
And he left my mother some land. I think it was 2 acres or so. But just having that example of understanding the power and the importance of legacy and keeping it in the family and just make sure because we know that. Damn, I'm trying to put it into words, really.
So at the end of the day, no boys ain't finna get between it. Is that what y'all talking
Right,
about?
It's like family.
Nah,
We
that's
stick together.
We was taught that. We stick together. One fight, all fight.
Yeah.
So basically, what you just said.
Yeah.
No boys get in.
Yeah, but then it's we know it's not just about ourselves. Though.
Yeah.
It's about the generation that comes after us.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What's all available at HairIsForever? When they click on the link, what all we can get?
So our most popular selling item is our edge control bundle. So you get the brush, you get the edge control, as well as a band to preserve your edges, as well as a travel little pouch so you can put the brush in when it gets sticky. So that's one I'm most selling. We're working on relaunching our shampoo where it comes with a shampoo bundle, but right now is our edge control bundle. Yeah. So you can survive the summer and survive the winter, keeping them edges laid.
Gotcha.
It's all about keeping them edges laid.
I got you. Yeah. I went on the. I be trying to get my waves and shit. Why y'all don't cater to the men? That's next.
It'll come.
It will come eventually.
Yeah.
Is it hard finding edge control? You say y'all do shampoo, obviously conditioner too. Is it hard to find the materials of putting that all together? 'Cause I'm pretty sure you can't just throw that together and call it shampoo.
It's really just testing it out.
Yeah, testing it out on different people.
Yeah, different
different
hair
textures.
textures. Yeah.
So y'all test it out among y'all,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then it's a few of us, so we got
Different hair. I
Yeah, we
gotcha,
all
I
got
gotcha.
different hair textures.
So what's the next step? What's the goal? Would y'all ever do brick and mortar? Putting it in the store?
Yeah,
Would y'all ever open the
that's
store?
the goal. That's the goal.
Right.
To touch the world.
Yeah, but I always wanted to be do things different. I'm not even sure, but I would instead of having a whole bunch of shops, I want to have an experience where when you come to the Everest warehouse, you can have the store inside, but it's an actual experience of something that's unforgettable, not just your regular go to the mall and be able to go in the store. I wanted it to create something that's more of an experience instead of just going in the store and having the regular mundane experience that you have at any store.
Did y'all still put it in store with the world going e-commerce? Being straight internet shopping?
Yeah, because you got to think about it. It's like you being able to put your movie on DVD, but everybody want to be in theaters. That's how I see it.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
The whole experience.
No.
I got you. That was a good one.
I ain't
Smooth
heard
words.
that.
Yeah.
You done came something with new information now.
How do y'all go about promoting and marketing your products? I know I seen Queen Naja on the page. How do y'all go about that?
Oh, well, she didn't actually have our brush, but we have had some celebrities have our brush. What celebrities were?
We had Snoop Dogg.
Tiffany Haddish.
Snoop Dogg laid down his edges?
Well, you know, he sometimes he do. They
Yeah,
do.
you know,
They
he
lay
get
his
that
edges
curl.
down.
Right.
Men can lay down their edges?
Yeah.
But you know, he have hairstyle.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you know,
braids
he
Yeah,
and
he does
curls.
have
No,
a
he
picture
got-
with his hair laid, but he had our video in the
Oh, shit.
who else? What else celebrity? I feel
Yeah,
like
we was
another-
lucky enough to
It was
get our
Tiffany
brush to like
Haddish,
one of his friends.
Gotcha.
She kind of
Lizzo,
like
remember
passed it
Lizzo?
on.
Yeah,
Lizzo?
I personally gave one to Eva Marcel. I gave one because I was in LA, so I would see a lot of people. So some of them we have the proof that they got it, and then some of them I just gave it to them personally, without requesting anything in return.
So you say Tiffany ended up without y'all giving it to her, right? Y'all didn't send it
No,
to
No,
her.
no, I gave
Yeah,
it to
she
him.
saw
Yeah.
Tiffany. She
Yeah.
lived in.
Snoop, y'all gave it to him.
Oh yeah, and Lizzo, we
yeah,
love
Lizzo.
Lizzo. She had our her stylist had our her product.
Lord, how y'all put on screen?
Well, for me, it was being in LA, so sometimes I would donate to an event where it was the goodie bags, or if I go to an event, I'll just like Tiffany Haddish. That was law of attraction because I went to see her to in order to be able to give her a brush, but they gave my ticket away, and then I was sitting in the restaurant. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna charge to the game. I'm just sitting in the restaurant and just eat. And I'm at the restaurant by myself, and I look up. Guess who's sitting in front of me by herself,
Tiffany
waiting
Haddish.
before she go on her show
Right.
by herself. Tiffany Haddish.
And you had them on that.
Well, I went to give her one. I wanted to meet her and give her one, so it was like the universe. Like I didn't even have to go on the show, which I wanted to go to see her, but it was like that universe brought us together because I would have had to see her with 20 other people waiting in line to see her.
Trying to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Gotcha. So y'all been up running 5 years. Did the pandemic hurt the business anyway?
It actually helped it because a lot of people was home shopping
Yeah.
online.
Okay, y'all out the change.
Pandemic.
So y'all, all you guys do different stuff outside of Harris Forever, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with the poet.
With the poet.
The poet. You published 7 books.
No, I published 6 books.
6.
But I do have 7, but the first one was actually a chapbook. And that was just something I did in high school. So
Who?
a chapbook is like a small version of an actual book.
And you write them all yourself?
Yeah, I wrote them all myself.
How did you get into on any of y'all write too? No?
I do.
She writes.
You got
Not
a book?
poems, but she writes.
I said, y'all, why y'all ain't got no books?
They ain't everything. They ain't
Nah.
everything.
I just write in my journal.
And you say you're in education.
Yeah, adult ed right now.
Adult
Yeah.
education. What's that?
Oh, adult education. Like I kind of work with like kids who are kind of like misguided. Like they feel like this the final straw for them, but I'm helping them like get them on the right track to get their high school diploma.
So like some bad ass kids. You work with bad ass kids. So to say.
Challenging, but we just I'm reworking on them. I'm working on them.
Yeah, we don't like to speak certain
I don't,
things.
yeah,
until
like
it's-
I don't want to like
wanna call
talk
them
down.
bad?
I don't want to say that because they're
You
not.
can call
I
a
mean,
kid bad.
they just misguided. I feel like a lot of kids these days are misguided, and they just need love and some type of guidance. I think I'm a great example. I came to a parent home and I got some great values I can add to them, and I helped one get her diploma this year, and I got 7 that I'm help. They like on their stuff right now, like they got goals.
That's hard. That's hard.
They like Miss Taylor.
Like we speak life. It's like what you speak into existence manifest. So when you start calling kids bad when they're young, we believe that's what they end up becoming. You call them brilliant, that's what they gonna become.
Yeah.
Like attracts like.
Yeah.
So y'all telling me kids don't be bad?
It's be bad, but it's like I
It's
think
for a
that we don't
reason.
understand we be
Yeah.
speaking curses over kids because like what you speak life or you speak death,
Right.
and you might think it's small, but it's like what do
amazing.
most of our kids become? Like they become like bad delinquents and can't really build their life. So I'm like I don't like to call kids bad, never.
Or crazy, or stupid,
Oh,
all
yeah.
that internet.
Well, y'all got positive energy over here,
Yeah,
boy.
nothing but
I
positive
be,
energy
I be
in my
quick.
room.
What? So back to the books. 6 books. What can we find them?
You can find them on Amazon. So if you just go to the Amazon site, just type in Everkesia and they'll pop up.
Every kid saying, are they at the Wide store?
Yeah, at the We All We Got store.
It's not Wide. That's not how you said it.
No, it's
sorry.
called, yeah.
I'm
It's just,
sorry. I thought, my bad.
we got bookstore.
We all shout out to We All We Got bookstore. But yeah, do you have them there?
No, I will have them there. I'm actually going to have another book signing soon.
Yeah, I got.
So just follow my Instagram page at Everkesia so you can just stay on
Gotta
top
be
of the
there.
dates.
And without you, I would have never found out about the We All We Got bookstore. What's your ties with that?
So I host a weekly how-to where I break down professions, like how to become a podcaster, how to become an author, because I feel like I was in that position in LA of like how to do this, and I don't have a person that wrote a book, and I was on YouTube University looking at those people. So I want to give like young kids a versions of how to for people that look like them. So that's what I do at the bookstore, weekly how to interviews.
You gotta get me on that.
Yeah, of course. Look, I was gonna ask you, man.
You gotta get me on that. So it's where is it?
It's on 40th in Tampa.
40th in Tampa. Okay, I need you definitely gotta get me on that. So what's next? Y'all started the HairIsForever. What's the next? Is there any more business ventures?
Well, right now we've been focused. So we have a lot of ideas that we come collectively and want to bring together. But ever we taking it to the biggest level ever, like better than ever, because we want to reach as many women as possible, men too, because you know people like Snoop using the brush.
Right.
Y'all gotta show me how to.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and keep the waves down.
So this brush, for the guys that don't know my audience, I bought this brush without knowing them. I got this brush at home, didn't know them for nothing. It's still in the pack, so I gotta
take that out.
Yeah.
You know the beard, getting a little straight
I gotta
away.
get myself.
Yeah.
I need some beard. Oh, I'm looking rough right now.
Oh, look, we got you. We working on it. When the lady come over, go ahead and.
Yeah, y'all gotta get me right. So I end my show on 4 questions. Since it's for y'all can answer them individually. Who wanna go first?
That's right.
Big sister
Otis.
first.
All right.
Why you?
Yeah.
You can go first. What's the biggest challenge you done faced?
With my life,
Anything.
I think finding my passion, like what I really love, because I got a degree in health science. I wanted to do nursing, but I'm like, did I really want to do that? Was that in my heart? And I feel like working with the kids, like I love them, like, I love it. Like I'm still like trying to figure it out, but I feel like education is my path, and it took me 29 years to find it, but I'm good with that.
You found it. That's all that matters. So what's the biggest challenge you done faced?
The biggest challenge.
That's a big question, though.
That is.
You got
I
it?
want to say, I don't look at things like as challenges. I just lessons,
Okay.
and I learn from them.
What's the biggest lesson you done learned? That's the second question. What's the biggest lesson you done learned?
Lesson, to think positive, like at all times, man, because you are what you think.
Gotcha.
I'll
Eddie?
deep.
It'd be okay. So my biggest challenge,
Yeah.
I would say for me, is like learning what self-love was, because I felt like I didn't really love myself, not in the way of like I was like mistreating myself, but I just didn't know what it was to love yourself, because I think we spend so much time telling other people we love them and not really like knowing what it is to love yourself, to appreciate yourself. And sometimes we so hard on ourselves, like, dang, you never enough. Like, we our own biggest critic. So I think that my biggest challenge was learning how to love myself for the stuff I don't like about myself, the stuff I do like about myself, and that was my biggest challenge.
The poet? What's the biggest challenge you done faced?
Woo. All this time I had to think about it. I would say, like, I feel like anybody that knows me knows I'm a big dreamer. I feel like I'm really persistent, but I guess I'm not the most consistent. Like, so it's like, there's so many different things I want to do. Even with, like, I started the Evers marketing agency. Yeah. We talked about, I don't think we talked to you about it. But so we have that, and then we have the Evers hair care company, which she kind of like is the main, she focuses on that mainly. Then, of course, I have my poetry books. Then I have a poetry album.
Let's go back. Let's go back.
I know. See, that's the thing. I'm working on so many different things, and it's like I want to be here, and I want to be here, and I want to be there, and it's just me trying to like be consistent with all of these different things, and kind of like not spreading myself thin.
Okay.
And I feel like that's my biggest challenge, but then also like I'm still working on that. But I feel like I'm doing better. But then again, you have those moments where you like, damn, I really want to focus on this right now because I have ideas just for this right now. But then it's like,
I mean, if you watering all the grass, you watering all the
Water
grass,
the
it'll
grass,
grow.
I mean, it's gonna grow, but
It'll grow.
some might be a little taller than others.
That's hard. How old are you? You the youngest, right?
I'm the youngest,
How-
23.
Yeah, y'all hard, bro. What's the biggest lesson you done learned? Back to you, big sis.
My biggest lesson would be to be patient with myself. Don't try to rush nothing. And then Queasy, I remember one time I was crying about not getting to starting like USF in the fall. This was like 2014. And then Queasy was like, you know, when you on your path to your goal, I mean, you know, it's not gonna come easy.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing in life gonna come easy. And I was like, I'm supposed to start this day, you know, to be on track to graduate when I want to graduate. But you know, things in life, you know, we have hardships that push us back, but we gotta keep going.
That time, it make it furious like that.
I think this is the most positive interview I done had on the podcast. It's hard since you already answered the lesson part. What's the biggest lesson you done learned?
The biggest
I got more
lesson,
questions for you.
the biggest lesson for me was learning that just because I feel like in relationships, feeling that you love yourself and you this powerful woman and people admire you, that you not it doesn't make you not susceptible to heartbreak and all those emotions that people think you supposed to always be strong through. Like you can go through any other emotion that anybody else can. So I think that I thought that because I had so much self-love that I couldn't go through certain things. Like, how dare I let anybody, you know, mistreat me for a second? And I think that I realized that, you know, it can happen to any of us. The most powerful woman, any man. So that was my biggest lesson.
Gotcha. Back to you.
You're asking this 23-year-old. All right. But no, really, I feel like I've learned so many different lessons, especially in the past few years. And just the needs to mind, patience. That was really a big one, but also just not to give up. Because I feel like I've been writing poems and just poetry books for so long, but I feel like just understanding that there's a bigger purpose, and then just like having a
What do your poems consist of? Like
everything, man.
I gotta check you
My
out.
mom think it's about her.
Oh my God! Listen, my mama always think my poems are about her.
Yeah, everything.
So like, if I've written like maybe close to 1,000 poems, 'cause I have like, I mean, obviously 6 poetry books. I've probably written 1,000 poems or so. Especially consider the ones I didn't put into
That's
the book.
dedication. You wrote 1,000 poems.
Yeah, I mean, just approximately. But like, if I've written 1,000 poems, I promise you, one of them about my mama. Only literally just one, a single poem.
But she think all of them is.
Yeah, she knows the one that I wrote about because it was like in my very first book. I read it at my, book release party. I had like a reading for it. I read a few poems from the book. And then it was about her and my dad, their relationship or whatever. So ever since she heard that poem, now she swear to God, every poem is about her.
And shout out to our mama Fatima. She got Sister Beauty Line. Little mama, we love you,
y'all
mama.
got
We love
Lady
you.
of
We
the
love
Sea,
and our
right?
daddy
Yeah,
too.
that's
Yes,
our
that's
Shout out
right.
Lady of the Sea.
Yeah.
That's
Y'all
how
hard. Back to you, bit sis. What's the best advice somebody done gave you?
I done got a lot of advice. I feel like,
Constantly getting.
yeah,
yeah.
the best
You
advice.
can either think of the best or you can drop a gem. You can get a crowd of gems.
The best advice. I always tell my students, like, in life, we're going to have hardships, but you got to keep going. And I think I lived in, like, a fairy tale fantasy growing up. I don't know, like, when I got out of high school and things started to happen, we lost a cousin that was close to us. Like, I didn't understand that, like, you still got to keep going. Like, death happens, accidents happens. You got to just keep going through it all. And remember, like, to keep faith.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Next. Best advice somebody done gave you. Or you can drop a gem.
To my good people that's out there, say a little less, do a little more. Think before you speak, but speak.
That's hard. Think before you speak, but speak.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
And live your
hard.
life.
That's hard. You should have wrote that on the table. That's hard. Back to you, Eddie.
Eddie
Best
B,
advice.
aka Alicia. Wait, best advice.
Or you can drop a gem.
So best advice, Earl Nightingale. I love him so much because I feel like he changed my life. Y'all gotta look up him on YouTube. He said that our rewards in life will always be in exact proportion to our contribution, our service. And I feel like if you want more rewards, a better quality of life, you got to look at how many people you serve. And it is cliche, and you have heard it in different forms, but I feel like that sticks with me. And that's why, like, I'm so transparent about, like, my failures and my mishaps, like having a bad credit score after starting certain stuff. Because I be feeling like you're going to bless people with your story and your testimony, and it's not always perfect. And sometimes stuff take way longer than expected.
Okay. Boy,
All
best
right.
advice, or you can drop it
Best
down.
advice is actually like a quote that's on my vision board, and it's probably like the reason why I have a vision board. And I forget who said it, but it was, let me think, it was, people don't get what they want because they don't know what they want.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
probably the
Okay.
reason why I created a vision board. So my advice to anyone else would be like to really take that time to really focus on yourself and like figure out what it is that you want to do and who you want to be.
Yeah, and
'Cause
write
you
it
can't,
down.
yeah, write it
Yeah,
down.
Write it down,
A
maybe.
plan.
We
Yeah.
all create
Write
a
it
vision
down,
board.
speak it
Yeah.
into existence,
Yeah.
but really just take that time, because a lot of us is just like moving and just flowing, going with the flow. And then one day you wake up and you're like, damn, is this really what I want? Can I curse? My bad.
Yeah.
Like, is this really what I want to be doing? So like, if you really, especially early on, if you like really just take the time, focus on yourself, figure it out, find out what you're passionate about, what your beliefs, what your values, and just you go forward from there. You know.
And that quote came from
Sisters came
Harv
through with
T.
the
Eker.
energy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who it came from?
Harv T. Eker of Secrets of the Millionaire Mind.
Yeah,
Great
I'm
book.
about to change, man. Okay, last one. What's the worst advice somebody done gave you?
Worst advice? I probably don't remember because it was.
The
Reverse
That was the
advice.
vice
You
versa.
don't take nothing.
Yeah.
You don't
Okay,
take
Yeah.
I got a better
Dang.
one. To say it's a group of sisters thinking about starting a business. What's some gems
Oh.
y'all can get them?
I would say, like, it might not be your idea. It might be somebody else's idea. But if y'all come together as one, y'all can make
And
great things
collectively.
happen.
Was it hard for y'all to believe in Has Forever?
I ain't even gonna lie. She came with the idea I
Yeah.
did not believe. But when
Yeah.
she started showing me,
You had to show
but
them.
that's my sister, so I'm with her 100. Like
No matter what.
like no matter what. But I swear I was like, man, what this girl got going on? What she talking about? She started making it happen and showing me, and it was just beyond
I
my
really,
understanding, I guess.
I only did it just so we can be together.
That's
I really don't really care.
Yeah,
I mean,
she is,
I
though.
just give the money too, and
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah, we call money
I
girl.
can't
We
really,
call her money
I can't
girl.
really,
Girl.
like
She
people
gonna drop the
ask
money
me
off.
stuff. I be like, I don't know. I just like being with them.
She gonna drop the
That's
money
hard.
out.
She gonna drop the money off.
We call her money girl because anytime we need the money, she gonna
Cost us.
Yeah.
drop it off.
That's hard. That's hard.
Oh, but I would also say just like make sure you have meetings. 'Cause I
Yeah,
think
we
that
had a meeting like every Sunday
Because I
before
think
we
that's real
lunch.
crucial, especially just everybody being on the same accord.
Communication.
Yeah.
And I think at whoever the leader is, I think that it's gonna be a reflection of you. And I think that at first I had too much going on. Like I relate to my sister. Like you want to water so many grasses, as you say, and it's like you got to narrow your focus and just focus on one thing and allow that thing to be able to take care of the other things and be able to hire people in place so you don't have to continue to wear so many hats in business. And I see like a lot of entrepreneur girls who like want to do lashes, want to do nails, and want to sell coats. It's like I think you got to narrow your focus in the beginning to be able to really hone in and to be one of the best at what you do. So I think that's what I would say, like narrow your focus.
Sisters, I'm so happy y'all came and said
Yeah,
We
I
Right.
enjoyed
With
myself.
Let us
energy.
in.
Yeah,
I know I missed a lot. If y'all go to their Instagram pages, they do a lot. So is there anything I missed that y'all want to bring up?
No big burn.
No big word.
no big room.
Oh, I got one big worm. Come on, big worm.
Big worm in the house.
I ain't missed none. Y'all good?
Yeah,
Y'all
no.
do a lot, man.
No, you did. No, you covered a lot.
You covered everything.
Yeah.
Well, again, I appreciate y'all for coming to sit with me.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
me.
and check us out at HairIsForever5, and love to all our family and friends who supported us over the years. Like
Love
we
y'all.
appreciate y'all. The comments, they mean so much. The telling people about what we're doing, it means so much to keep us going. And some days it's hard to get up and like to continue to go on hard every day, but we see comments and we see people sharing our stuff and they make us go hard. And thank you for the platform. Thank y'all for this building. It's been an exciting experience being our first interview all together. So we appreciate y'all for letting us come to the space.
Of course, y'all can come back whenever.
Thank you, big
We'll be
worm.
back. We'll be back tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank
Big
you.
worm.
Big Worm,
Big worm.
the Ever Sisters, we out. Podcast.
grader.